Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper with your JCN News for this Monday, November 30th. When it comes to housing, the Free National Movement Administration is seemingly clicking on all cylinders. It was just last week, Monday, that the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation officially opened its new headquarters at East Hill Street. Well, one week the government carried out a much anticipated groundbreaking ceremony for phase 1 of the new Carmichael Village subdivision. This new housing subdivision with 107 lots in the initial phase will become the new benchmark for all other government subdivisions in New Providence. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis was happy to get the project off the ground and says land reform and home ownership has always been a major part of the government national policy plans.
Since coming to office in May 2017, my government identified land reform as one of our key priorities. We believe that access to land and the opportunity to own land are among the greatest ways to generate and to build wealth across generations. For many Bahamians, land ownership means leaving a legacy for their spouse, children, and parent. There's much satisfaction in seeing one's name on a title deed and knowing that you have the ability to bequeath such a gift and legacy to a loved one.
Housing and Environment Minister Ramal Ferreira says this is only the beginning and that the first phase will open the homeowners market to those previously locked out for one reason or the other.
This is our service lot initiative. In the first phase, we will develop 107 service lots. And the whole concept behind this was that the price of land in New Providence is so competitive and so astronomical that in a lot of cases, first-time homeowners, young people, are locked out of the market. And so this is geared towards making every single Bahamian a potential homeowner and achieve the Bahamian dream.
The Prime Minister also reminded that the property can be used as collateral for economic empowerment. He says the Service Lots initiative has 3 prongs.
1, providing land at prices far below market value, so the land may be used as collateral. 2, ensuring that the land has infrastructure and providing concessions to enable Bahamians to be able to build at considerably reduced prices. When compared to the average cost of land today, the price tag for government service lots, beginning at $15,000 on New Providence and less than $10,000 on Family Islands, is achievable for many Bahamians.
The government has rolled out stamp duty and excise exemptions for qualified homeowners who construct their homes within the next 2 years. And in some cases, a deposit may not be required for home construction. And not to be left out, the Prime Minister says land has been identified for a more upscale subdivision in the West that will appeal to young professionals. The theme for the government's housing initiative is building a stronger Bahamas together. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis was sworn in today as Minister of Finance by Governor General Cornelius A. Smith during a brief ceremony at the new offices of the Governor General at 1 Montague Center. Dr. Minnis has taken the helm of the Ministry of Finance after former Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest resigned that post last week following his alleged involvement, along with Sky Bahamas CEO Captain Randy Butler, in defrauding 2 companies of some $20 million through what's being labeled as bogus loan schemes. Dr. Minnis last week accepted the Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahamas resignation as the DPM and Finance Minister, noting that he would make a substantive appointment in due course and would act as interim Minister of Finance. The Prime Minister also announces that he is relaxing restrictive measures in Eleuthera with immediate effect. He says this much during the Carmichael Village groundbreaking for new housing development this morning.
that Eleuthera, the restrictive measures that have been taken, Eleuthera will be relaxed, and Eleuthera's curfew would commence at 10 p.m. as opposed to 6 p.m. And all indoor and outdoor restaurants can now function. You can now enter your restaurant for indoor dining. However, advise that you still stick to the mitigation protocols for COVID.
On November 10th, amid rising cases of COVID-19 in Eleuthera, Dr. Minnis has imposed a 24-hour weekend curfew and nightly weekday curfew from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. for the island. Spanish Wells and Harbor Island have been exempted from the increased restrictions. To date, Eleuthera has recorded 148 positive COVID-19 cases. And the Prime Minister was very forthright earlier today when he defended recent travels to several family islands over the weekend. Today, responding to reporters' questions concerning travel to Exuma, Rum Cay, Cat Island, and not adhering to protocols for travel. Dr. Minnis says that he's just simply fulfilling promises he made when he came into office in 2017 to visit family islanders.
From I came into office, I've been traveling throughout the family islands. That has never stopped. So it's just a continuation. When I came in, I promised the family islanders that I will visit them regularly and keep them abreast of what's happening in the Bahamas, especially after budgets, after COVID, they must be informed.
Dr. Minnis made these remarks on the sidelines of the groundbreaking ceremony for the new subdivision, Carmichael Village. Now, Dr. Minnis made it clear that he, along with his wife and delegation, were tested before traveling under the emergency power order in regard to inter-island travel. It notes that persons traveling from New Providence to another island shall be required upon arrival to submit to mandatory quarantine periods of 14 days. Additionally, under the order, the competent authority has the power to make exemptions as needed. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.